Jesus freak here. So, right now I have a roll about 4 square feet, I believe, of a synthetic leather type material that I bought because I'm like, on one hand, I'd probably rather use the real thing. On the other, it's not really cost effective to try to get that much leather to try to fix everything I got that I want to try to put new covers on. I'm going to get some cheaper stuff that's still going to do the job. And there's 2 Bibles I have especially need this. I have one where a few years ago I lost it, and then when I found it again, the cover had been destroyed. So I took the cover off, and I said, as soon as I have the opportunity, to put something over it. That's this. It's an Oxford blackface from the 1950s. The other one, which I believe is from the 1930s, but it may be older than that. The problem with this one is that even when I got it, the cover was just rotting. And it would fleck off. As a result, I've temporarily wrapped it in plastic to keep it from flecking off all over the place. And I'm going to probably be rebinding this one too. This is, I believe it's from the 1930s, I may be wrong. So, I'm going to probably focus on those. If I have scraps left, I probably will have scraps left over. I'll probably use those for something. I might see if I can guillotine the material so it's a little easier to cut. I don't think I need anything fancier than this to hold it together. One Bible that I'm not going to rebind, unless something really serious happens to it, is this one. Now, well, this particular Bible doesn't mean a lot to me, apart from the sentimentality that, well, the pastor's mother-in-law and I are sometimes talking on the phone or whatever, we talk in church, we sometimes have similar things, crosses we have to deal with, because for someone like her, and for me, surprisingly enough, for her being as young as I am, that sort of lonely, isolated feeling you have to deal with when you're displaced, when you don't really know anyone. But this was something she had, and she said, it's a nice Bible, but I'm not really gonna use it. As I think she's more into normal Bibles like the Cambridge Cameo. Actually, I think her main Bible is a Collins Iona text, which is, about as bare bones a KJV as you can get. But it's solid. In fact, I got some Ionas But another thing about this particular Bible. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this. But I think I'm pretty strongly convinced that this Thompson Chain reference 4th edition is either the same or very close. I watch several YouTubers. Laurel and Tyler Thompson starts a lot of her live streams reading from an old Bible that her father gave her. And occasionally I've been able to take a closer look at the pages. I think it's a Thompson Chain. It might not be exactly the same edition, but it's definitely a Thompson. And although I don't use it as much as I could, I consider Bibles like the Thompson Chain. There's other ones like it. I think Duggan has one. The Open Bible is another one in the same vein, where most of the notes are not in the text proper, the same way most study Bibles are, but they're often a supplemental section. And in fact, you can see all this here, which is like a third of the volume, is supplemental material. Although I do still use the Thompson, I mainly use the 6th edition rather than this 4th edition, because the 6th edition's a little easier on my eyes. And especially more than the 5th edition, which is ugly. Anyway, Jesus freak out.